Alright guys, this is Jonathan with One Big Impact. Good morning! I'm in Paris. Kinda hungover. Just kidding. What? Wait, I wasn't drinking. The sun. Not happening, man. This is my last day in Paris. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up on what you think, or what I think would be a great kind of chain of things to do. So number 10, I would say do a river cruise down the center of Paris. It's absolutely dreamy, and they're going to give you a big insight on everything that's going to be around that area, which is really awesome because you know, you come to a lot of these older places and you don't realize such the rich history that's here. I mean, of course you know it's an old place and things like that, but beyond that, who really knows exactly, you know, what's going on and what reign and what era these massive epicenters of cities were constructed. So it's really nice to kind of get the history on those things. Plus, you know, for about 10 or 12 pounds, you really are able to figure out a lot more about where you're at. Number 9, Sainte-Chapelle. Right when I believe it was, don't quote me on this, I believe it was in the Victorian age, right when they were able to start realizing exactly how to create these huge walls of glass without in the cathedrals and things like that, without the walls imploding on themselves. Sainte-Chapelle is the perfect first example of how they understood that with flying buttresses or on the outside of the buildings for the architecture and things like that. And you have to see the stained glass, and that is just amazing. I mean, I'm talking giant walls of just glass. It's pretty impressive. Number 8, Invalides. Invalides. Now, I'm sorry, my French is not that well, so please bear with me. That's actually a military museum, and it used to be a hospital, so it's got a pretty cool feel. And I believe, yeah, number 7, and I want to say Invalides. Don't quote me on this, I'm forgetting which one it was, is Napoleon's tomb. Now, if you see Napoleon's tomb, you're going to be pretty blown away by the sheer size of this tomb. That's a must-see. Now, it's either that one or the other one maybe I'm going to talk about. Everything's a blur. I've been here for 1 full day, 2 part days, and everything's just kind of blending together, to say the least. It is a very romantic city. It is a very high tourist area. There's a lot of people trying to get, you know, you to do scams and different things like that. Just stay positive. I mean, you know what? Anytime you're going to go to a big city, you're going to have issues. So, you know, you're in Paris. Enjoy it. The next one would be the catacombs. Bones, hello. Awesome. Kind of creepy though, so if you have a weak stomach or something, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I thought it was pretty cool. But as always, get there early. A lot of people want to see these things, and they're waiting in line. So if they open at 9:30, get there at 7:45 to get in line, because that way when they open at 9:30, you're going to be in there first. That's important. You don't want to waste your whole trip standing in lines. And lines and lines and lines. Next one is the Arc de Triomphe. The thing I liked most about this, and I'm a big history buff on World War II and things like that, when Paris was occupied by the Nazis, Hitler actually stood under this Triomphe because he wanted to demoralize the French and tell them basically, hey, you're done, stop trying to fight back. There's no way you're going to recover from this. You know, we've pretty much, you know, we've got you. And just to kind of just ruin their morale or any type of backfighting or anything like this, or resistance or whatever. And then there was resistance, of course, no matter where you go. Even if you completely, you know, obliterate anybody's feeling of this, that the fact that they still have a stronghold, there's going to be people that still want their country for themselves. So yeah, you can actually stand right where Hitler stood. So that's kind of intense. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form, because I think you should love everybody equally. it doesn't matter your skin color, race, religion, anything like that. That doesn't matter to me. If you're a good person, you're just a good person. If you're a bad person, you're just a bad person. It has nothing to do with tones and things like that. Next one, Musée d'Orsay. That's actually an Impressionist museum. A lot of people are big on that. I'm not so much big on the Impressionist. But they do have some absolutely great works of art. Do yourself a favor and go see those paintings and different types of art there, because that's a world-renowned museum. The next one, the Palace of Versailles. Now, if you don't have a complete day to dedicate to the Palace of Versailles, don't go. And I don't want to like drag you down or anything, but this palace, a lot of people don't realize the sheer size of it. You can actually, on the grounds, for a small fee of, I believe, 15 euros, you can actually rent a golf cart. Now you can split that if you got 3 or 4 people, split it and you end up like $2 a piece. But that shows you how big it is. You can rent a golf cart to drive around the Palace of Versailles, the gardens, and just the grounds are just enormous, and it's going to take you some time. So make sure you can dedicate a good amount of time to this. Plus, it's a little out of the city center, so you're going to have to travel there as well. The next, number 3, come on, the Louvre. Really, you got the Mona Lisa, you got Da Vinci's, you got Van Gogh's, you got everything. Now, also, if you don't have a lot of time to dedicate to this, don't waste your time. Now, if you have 3 or 4 hours and you're like, I'm dead set, I got to see the Mona Lisa, then get your butt down there, get down there early, and you're going to wait in line. So add an hour or 2 for line. Get in there, get straight to the exhibit that you're looking for, and get out. Because the Louvre is individual 3 wings. Wing, 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 underground. It's a lot to see, and you're never going to see it in a day. They say, I think if you spent 10 seconds at every exhibit to see everything, it would take you something like 57 years. So you have to have a schedule and understand what you're going to do when you go to these places, because I don't think you understand how large the French build things, and they build things. Oh, and by the way, the Arc de Triomphe is the most amazingly big thing I've ever seen in my life. I never even thought it was going to be that big. So yeah, that'll blow your mind. You can actually stand on the top of that. The Louvre, a lot of walking. That's going to take you 3 days, 4 days minimum to go through and see a lot of stuff. So if you want to see something, get straight to it. Number 2, for me, your list of course is probably going to be a little bit different depending on what your interests are. The Notre Dame Cathedral. That was free. I was kind of excited about that. For a small fee of 8 euros, you can take the extremely long staircase up to the top, and you can actually, stand on the top of the cathedral and look around, and it's one of the highest points from Paris, not the highest point. The highest point is actually located in a pretty bad area, according to me. I mean, I know what kind of ghetto areas are and stuff, and the area that the highest point was kind of shifty, except for the fact that there was a lot of cops around, which was, I don't know if that's good or bad. But yeah, that's King Henry VIII. The Notre Dame Cathedral, I believe, is where Anne-Marie Boleyn was beheaded. I was talking with some people. I'll get more information on that and post it below in the comments. And number 1, of course, and I don't think you realize how big this thing is, the Eiffel Tower. Now, when I got to the Eiffel Tower, I actually cried. I got goosebumps, because, it's always, everybody says, I want to go to Paris. And why? Why do you want to go to Paris? To see the Eiffel Tower. And it truly is, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. It truly is an amazing sight to see. You don't realize how large these things are until you get there. Now I'm talking, you can probably fit 2 or 3 football fields under it, just in the space that you walk through to the garden. Now once you walk to the garden, you're going to have a lot of people trying to sell you stuff and things like that. But right right at daybreak, and just ignore them, just walk past them. And they'll try all kinds of tactics. They'll do, excuse me, I'm sorry. They'll do like little laser lights to try to get your attention. Just ignore it and just keep walking. Because obviously it's a business and they're capitalizing on the fact that they can make some serious money by, selling you some Eiffel Tower stuff. If you want something, go ahead, buy something, you know what I mean? But if you're being badgered and you've already got souvenirs that you want, just keep walking and do not engage with them at all. If you look at them, if you do anything, they're gonna really feed off of that and use that to their benefit. So just don't do it. But the Eiffel Tower does cost, and the line is ridiculously insane. What I did, I actually did not go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. I'm tired. I just don't have the funds to do $20, $20, $20, $20 at all these places. Because that adds up real quick, because Paris is kind of a high dollar place as far as food and stuff goes like that, and lodging and stuff is not cheap. So I try to make sure, I get to the places and I enjoy the places, but not necessarily do all that they have to offer, because it just does cost a lot of money. The Eiffel Tower, you have to go there at night, because right at sundown, and I think it was about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, the other night when the sun went down, somewhere around there, they light it up, like just with light, illuminating lights, but then as soon as it gets dark, they put on these flashers, and it just is one ginormous sparkling building. It is just like flashing, and it is just, if you like shiny stuff, this is going to be your thing. When you see it, you'll know. Again, that's going to be my top 10 things to do in Paris, guys. These are things I've done. These are things that the group have done that they've told me about as well, and they liked them. So we kind of compiled a list and went through and seen what was going to be the best. So, like I said, I'm Jonathan with One Big Impact. If you guys have any questions, please list them in the comments below. I can probably give you an idea on how to get around. I might even post a link to a map of Paris. If you liked our videos, obviously, pound that like button. Subscribe, please subscribe, because that helps us put on more videos. And of course, comment and share our videos. And you guys have a wonderful day, and do yourself a favor. Get to Paris, because it's beautiful and you may never get the opportunity again. And who knows how long this history is going to be around. So just get yourself down there and enjoy your life. Thanks, guys.